What is... Dax, are you?
Tracking all our cars on Carvana Value Tracker on all our devices? Yes, Kristen, yes I am.
Well, I've been looking for my phone for...
In Dax's domain, we see all. So we always know what our cars are worth.
All of them?
All of them. Value surge, trucks up 3.9%.
That's a great offer.
I know. Sell?
Sell.
Track your car's value with Carvana Value Tracker today.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
This is the Berman Project. Hey, it's JD here, back for another week of introspection and reflection on loss, grief, and the pathway to mental wellness. All while filling my soul with the music and art of the late indie rock singer-songwriter, David Berman. You know, ultimately, that's what we're here for. We're here to celebrate Berman. We are here to try and better understand where he was coming from when he created his art, and sometimes understanding where our own mental wellness is, can potentially help us get inside the head of somebody else who is mentally unwell or mentally ill, as clearly David Berman was, having succumbed to mental illness through suicide just about 3 years ago. So there's that. I am feeling a little better than I was the last time we spoke, which is good, because the last time we spoke, I was pretty dark. I was in a pretty dark place. Now, I'm not here to tell you that I'm turning fucking cartwheels right now, because I'm not. Things are hit or miss. Things are hit or miss, and I need to focus on the hit, and move on from the misses. I guess would be one way of thinking about it. I just don't know. I don't know. And I various times in my life I thought I've had it all figured out. I remember when I was working for Starbucks. I was a manager at Starbucks, and I really was a terrible manager. I was really good to my staff and really good to my customers, but I was a terrible manager in that I was constantly bitching. I was constantly bitching about the scope of the job and, what I really wanted to do. And at that time it was right. This was a few years after my failures at university and my failures at college. And I thought I would, like to go back in time and do that again. Unfortunately, there is no such thing as time travel. And I was meandering in this existence. Meandering is the operative word here. One day, as I was meandering from one store to another, that were fairly close to each other, my mentor was at a store that was about, 250 yards away from my store. And there was a busy street that you had to cross. And I remember walking to her store and I wasn't paying attention. And I stepped out into the street and I got slammed into by a bike courier. Now, it sounds funny because, it's a bike courier. But at the time, and still even now, I think I was so out of it. I was so, just languishing and just, sort of living in the past or trying to live in the future and not focusing on the now. And it could have been a real car. Like, it knocked me down, motherfucker. It hurt. And it was like a slap across the face at the time. It was like, this is what you need to do. You need to stop being complacent and stop, just settling and go for it. Go for something that you want to go for. And so I did. And I enrolled in a school for performance, for writing and performance comedy, a comedy school. I mean, it had tuitions of a community college, but it it was, the program was built around comedy. You still had to get, some humanities, and math and bullshit like this. But I was able to get out with my university credits of anything supplementary, and I got to focus on the core competencies, which were like improv and sketch writing and sketch performance and stand-up performance and stand-up writing, something called Le Jeu. There was a history of comedy course. It was dynamite. I was 30 years old, and I was in school with 22-year-olds, and I felt like we were in a similar place. I felt reborn. I felt renewed, but it quickly evaporated and it quickly eroded, and I found myself on the honor roll for the first semester, really throwing everything I had into this program, to in the second semester not really participating and backing down from everything. And that was an awful reality. I got called into the dean's office at one point. Now this was for we had planned something really. I'll share that with you. Should I share that with you right now? Sure, I'll share it with you. Me and a friend of mine plotted between each other, between the two of us, that at an upcoming stand-up event called Rants for Rent, where the premise was that you got to work out new material by going on the stage and just ranting, and then whoever had the best rant of the night would collect the kitty, which I think it cost $5 to get on the stage to rant, and so you'd win the kitty. So that's why it's called Rants for Rent. Anyway, my friend Nick and I decided that we would have some fun with it. We were both, and our friend Graham as well, we were watching wrestling. And we were big on wrestling. And Nick said, man, I would love to blade someday. Now, blading in professional wrestling is when a professional wrestler conceals a small fragment of a razor blade and actually bloodies themselves with it to, simulate that the experience that they've been living in has caused the injury rather than, it being self-inflicted. So, we thought that was a cool idea, so we built this scenario that Nick would be on stage doing his rant, and all of a sudden he would turn his vim and fire and brimstone toward me. He would start talking subtly about somebody that owed him money and things like that, but it ended up building up and getting uncomfortable. I made it specifically really uncomfortable. Like I stood up awkwardly at one point, so that people knew that it was me that he was talking about and that I was there, and I was awkward about it. Anyway, it got to the point where I stood up and just said, "You need to stop. You need to stop this now." And he kept going, so I took a swing at him and knocked him down. And then, of course, I walk out of the room. He stands up, and there's blood protruding, from his forehead. So it looked like an amazing spectacle. And I got called into the dean's office for that, because they didn't like that we were, off book. I suppose we should have let the person who was organizing the Rants for Rent in on it at the very least. But we thought it needed to be, really tight crew. We kept it going at school the next day and everything. But it quickly faded away. People forgot about it. But the other time I got called in was for not doing work, not showing up, not being in classes, very sporadically showing up to classes, even though I would be on campus and, just hanging out or doing whatever. And I was going to get booted from the program. So from being on honor roll to, almost being booted from the program, that was quite a far cry. Now, I don't know whether it was my mental illness catching up with me or whatever the fuck it is that stops me from doing, the things that I should be doing, such as doing this podcast for you the last couple of weeks. I just stop. I take it way too easy on myself, and I just stop. And, I let a moment like getting hit by a bike courier pass me by because I didn't have the stick-to-itiveness to keep going. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hard. I can hear my therapist right now just railing on me for being too harsh. But man, at some point, like I gotta fucking. This is just, it's awful, and I'm tired of it, and it's really tiring, and I'm tired, and I just want to go to sleep. And sometimes I want to go to sleep forever, but for now, I won't. You're stuck with me. I'm here, waiting for the next bike courier. So there's that. Don't step on it, JD. Don't step on it. You gotta let that fade happen, right? You gotta let it happen, and everybody will be better for it, richer for it, as it were. How you doing? How was that for you? I mean, was it a little trippy that it's the theme song? It's trippy for me because I'm listening to it and I'm thinking, this song doesn't, really excite me very much. It's called Bar Scene from Star Wars. And you could easily surmise that this might be something that they would listen to in the cantina there. It's fittingly far out, but it's sort of boring. It's a little too long for me. There's not another turn in there. I'm waiting for a turn. And maybe that means that I'm bad at selecting theme songs. Is my theme song boring? Oh my God. Send me an email, jd@mediumalchemist.com. I would love to hear from you. Speaking of hearing from you, several of you have reached out, and I just want to call out attention to that. I was really overwhelmed after the last episode. Really overwhelmed. So overwhelmed, in fact, that I forgot to do a poem last time. So we're going to get right into that. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the song. Bar Scene from Star Wars. This is the last track on the Arizona record, and it's the last track of the first season. Each album is going to be a season. So I'm going to do that. It doesn't really matter, other than for the nerds out there that, want to know that kind of shit. That's what goes through my mind. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm picking up the poetry book. Man, my eyes have been bothering me so much. I'll tell you. Not good. Not good. So let's do this thing. This is called Tulsa. A woman named Tina drinks gin at sunset before a pair of drawn curtains that frame the dry grasslands and tangerine hilltops of her native country. An insurance bill is pinned to the desktop by a calculator. The curtains are purple. The man she intends to marry is reserved as a dark prairie pond. He paints radio storms in the basement beside a globe of Mars, his hair and shoes the colors of oxblood. The local graveyard is now run by the management company he owns. Stones are strewn on the even patchways like the exploded bits of a larger rock. Annually, starlings fill the trees as if commanded by a book on death. And she, a manicurist who digs the intimacy of her work, holds hands for a living, perfecting the extremities of oilmen and bankers. But this man she intends to marry is strange. She wonders, what's the deal with quiet people? Can they read minds? Just then, a June bug flies in and lands on the curtain. The purple curtain on her right. My left. Her right. Jesus fucking Christ. That's a tour de force, man. That's a tour de force in creating visuals that resonate and are lovely, and then referring back to them. The purple curtain. And then that really interesting ending. The protagonist or the narrator rather, injecting himself into the narrative in some way. That they're in the room. They're the man. Are they the man? That sounds to me like they're the man. But they don't have full access to what the man is thinking, really. So that goes against that piece. I'm not sure. I just loved it. I loved how pretty it was. I love that you could almost use that if you were a writer. You could use that as a scene, like a skeleton of a scene. You've got this description, you've got these two characters that have motivations and or will have motivations when you get your hands on them. But you get a brief description of each of these characters, and really nice. God damn it, that's solid gold. That was worth missing a week. So there's that. what do you say we call it a day? Because that's pretty much all I've got to say. That rhymes. I'm in a poetry mood, and I'm showing you all my flexibilities. So there's that. What do you say? I repeat myself. I do that far too often. Oh my gosh. Hope you're well, and staying well. Stay foolish, stay hungry, and wash your goddamn hands. The Berman Project is a production of Duvra Podcasts and Such. You can find out more about the show at www.thebermanproject.xyz. That's right, I'm fucking Canadian. I'm also social. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, and all the rest at Berman Project.
Duvra Podcasts and Such.
Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business and sell more with less effort thanks to the Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/redcircle, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/redcircle now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/redcircle.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yep.
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.